with the hometown service you expect.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Is your heating system ready for cooler weather? Call Bryant to schedule your fall heating check. No matter what brand, call 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Hey guys, it's Carly from Boyk Farm Outfitters. Now that we're into harvest, it's time to think about what's next on each of your fields. For some, that means cover crops. Whether it's to help with weed pressure or erosion control, boost soil health, or if you need something for cow chow, we can help. We're seeding everything from simple rye covers to more exotic mixes and even winter wheat. So if you're shorthanded and don't feel like you can get anything seeded, just give us a call and we can help. Find us at BoykFarmOutfitters.com to get in touch. That's BOECK FarmOutfitters.com.
All right, Lincoln, if you're a diesel technician who's ready to earn up to $40 an hour and you're tired of working nights and weekends, listen up. Inland Truck Parts and Service is hiring experienced diesel technicians right here in Lincoln, and they're offering what every hardworking tech wants. Monday through Friday hours, no nights, no weekends, and paid training on advanced diesel technology. With 37 locations across 12 states, career advancement opportunities are endless. Start building towards your future and apply today at inlandtruck.com. That's inlandtruck.com. Or text APPLY to 785-369-1320.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
We interrupt this commercial break for an important story.
There once was a man from Nebraska who went searching for food in Alaska. When his stomach was rumbling while laying in bed, he could think of only one option, Führer's cheese spread. So he left it once and drove day and night to return back home for cheese spread delight. Now his stomach is full and the voice in his head tells him no more vacations without Führer's cheese spread. Find yours today at most local grocers.
Hey there, this is Paul Scheel, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
Mike, I've been thinking our house could really use a makeover. How about new siding?
I've been thinking the same thing. Have you heard of James Hardy?
Yes. Sarah down the street had Roofing Service Company install James Hardy siding on their home, and they love it.
Roofing Service Company does have great reviews.
They took her through the design process and made everything super easy.
Roofing Service Company offers expert design and installation. Couple that with James Hardy's durable products and variety of colors, you and your family will love your exterior remodel. Just visit roofingservicecompany.com. That's roofingservicecompany.com.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
Welcome to The Drive with Aaron Davis and Nick Sainert. former football national champion, speaker, and author Aaron Davis.
Pain is a teacher if you use it. And the lessons in the carnage of pain sometimes are elusive. They hide, they're stealth. The work is finding the lessons through the pain. There's always a message in the mess. Depends on if we want to get dirty and look for it.
Nick Sainert.
Driving left side is Boyer, picks up his dribble, looking for some help, decides to go up strong with it, and the layup will rattle home. Jack Riley picks the pocket of BJ Bradford up the floor to Jack Hostrider. Watch out! Mafisi in the lane, kicks it out. 3-ball, Townsley, right wing, it's good!
Sponsored by Doors Plus on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
That is right. Welcome in. It is a Thursday edition of The Drive here on 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Nick Sainert alongside for the second consecutive day, Austin Orman. Good morning, Austin.
Good morning, Nick. 3 in a row's a streak. Don't let us get hot.
Well, we're not going to get hot because
That's
AD
sad.
will be back tomorrow as AD is gallivanting, speaking in the South Dakota area. He's up in Brookings, South Dakota this morning. He sent me a picture earlier today. Guess what speaker he had to follow at the engagement this morning?
Ooh.
He will actually be coming on the show at some point in the near future. This speaker, South Dakota State head football coach Dan Jackson.
How about
if you know anything about Dan Jackson, the football coach, recruits Omaha and Nebraska really well. Was at South Dakota State for a while, and then went to Vanderbilt as I think it was the defensive backs coach. You might have to quote or might have to check me on that. I believe it was the defensive backs coach at Vanderbilt. And then he ends up going back when South Dakota State has a job opening, goes back to Brookings.
Ooh, he went to Northern Illinois as DBs and co-special teams, and then to Vandy as the DBs. Was at Idaho for a year as defensive coordinator and linebackers coach, and then, to your point, rehired by the Jacks.
So there you go. But yes, so he is the head coach of the South Dakota State Jackrabbits. But like I said, recruits Omaha as well as anybody, and has made a lot of hay on just finding those under recruited guys that maybe Nebraska passes on, and that's fine, right? We don't need to get into that conversation, but it finds those guys and is able to turn them into good FCS or low Division I caliber of players, and so that'll be really good. But yeah, no, he sent me a picture and said I got to meet Dan Jackson earlier today. So
Omaha's finest, Dan Jackson.
Omaha's finest. That is right. Speaking of people that were born in Nebraska, I don't know if you saw my tweet yesterday. It got a lot more traction than I thought it was going to. We had mentioned yesterday morning on the show that Tony Vitello, the head coach of Tennessee baseball, was waiting on and trying to figure out his decision on whether or not he would take the San Francisco Giants managerial job. And long story short, he did. Well, the interim head coach for the Tennessee Volunteers is a guy by the name of Frank Anderson. Anderson was born in Grant, Nebraska, and he actually played his college ball at Mid-Plains Junior College, which is in the North Platte area, I believe, if I remember correctly, and then ended up transferring to what was at the time Kearney State, which now is UNK, Nebraska Kearney. And he is the interim head coach now at Tennessee, but played and obviously was born, grew up here in the state of Nebraska. So crazy small world. And he's not going to be in line for the job. I think he's 66 years old. He's not going to be in line for the permanent head coaching job, but has made his ways around Division I baseball organizations and programs, and has been the pitching coach for Tennessee since 2017. And so he has been on Vitello's staff for a while now, and now is the interim head coach.
Pretty cool. Pretty darn cool for a, Grant, Nebraska. Are you kidding me? How about that? Grant, Nebraska stand up. Now that Tennessee is the top of the line college baseball program when you look at history, but it's kind of the hot item right now, even despite missing the College World Series last year. What Tony Vitello did in bringing that program back could not have been done without Coach Anderson. I mean, you think about a guy like Chase Dollander, certainly comes to mind. Chase Burns, to some degree, comes to mind as well, and the litany of arms and great players that they've had there as well. What a cool story. Good for that guy.
It is remarkable. And Derek Anacar does make a really good point that I want to mention. I think it was like 2004 to 2013. Frank Anderson was the Oklahoma State baseball coach, head coach for the Cowboys, had a really good record, was like 300 and something, and he won 100 more games than he lost. I know that for a fact because I was doing some research on him after I had sent the tweet out and stuff. But it was
329
really cool.
and 208.
Yeah, 329 and 208, which is not bad at all.
Only missed 3 regionals, made 1 super.
I know he won his first year in Stillwater. He won the Big 12 championship for Oklahoma State. So, yeah, it's really, really small world there. But either way, I was telling you that it was just fascinating when all this news broke, and we're not going to stay on this for very long because there's other breaking news that we definitely want to get into. But I was saying this earlier or yesterday when Tony Vitello was official that he was coming or going to go to the San Francisco Giants. I like walked up and I was like, it is so bizarre to think about a professional and a major league organization in the San Francisco Giants having to pay a buyout. Now, don't get me wrong. Like there's been times where organizations in professional sports have had to pay other professional organizations in order to talk to head coaches, whether it's to negotiate and so on and so forth. But the fact that a major league baseball organization is paying $3 million to Tennessee to buy out Tony Vitello's contract is pretty comical to me. But I understand why.
It's just the day and age that we're in, you know. But even that being said, it doesn't take away from how historic this moment is for college baseball, for Tony Vitello, and for the San Francisco Giants. I mean, Buster Posey is a guy that knows the college baseball ranks. Now, the game that he played in, not the same game it was back when Buster was playing for Florida State. But man, to not make this guy, put in the, quote unquote legwork behind the scenes in the minor leagues, to grind his way up, show us what you got, to just go essentially sight unseen. Maybe you got good reports from your scouts that were at Tennessee games. I'm sure that factored into it quite a bit. I mean, you hear Max Scherzer give the guy a ringing endorsement. That's probably going to carry some weight.
Sure.
But man, that's multiple $1 million going from the San Francisco Giants. I mean, that $3 million or so, whatever they're going to end up paying to buy out his contract, that's a decent bench piece in the big leagues.
It is. It's just funny. I mean, the Giants will be fine. I also wonder, I mean, we were having this conversation, like, Tony Vitello is a pretty fiery guy. And that's something that's kind of made him notable in college baseball is the emotions that he wears on his sleeve, whether it's in arguments with umpires, whether it's celebrations on benches. Like there's videos to where, and you never see this out of managers, and maybe there's for good reason for this, but when his guys would hit a home run at times, if it was a big monumental home run, he would be right out there outside the dugout jumping around and celebrating the same way that some of his players are from the dugout. We're not going to see that in Major League Baseball, but it's kind of interesting because he is a little bit of an outlier. I'm not saying it's going to be successful. I'm not predicting anything. I think that's just something I'm going to be fascinated to watch unfold, because the professional game from an organization standpoint as a manager is so different than it is at the college level, even in the SEC.
But wouldn't it be fun if he was jumping around in the dugout? I'm not saying go full Dan Hurley on the umps every time, which he's also been known to do. But I think that'd be pretty cool if Tony Vitello is the guy jumping in the top step of the dugout on his way out when a guy hits a home run. I mean, the first time Rafa Devers goes deep next year, I want to see Tony Vitello all over it. That'd be fun.
But does that work when you're dealing with guys that are in their mid-30s rather than in their early 20s?
If the organization needs that kind of spark,
okay.
The complaint that I've heard from Giants land is that the Giants have just been boring as an organization.
Well,
and maybe what they need is a spark. And the Athletics reporting on this too is that it's a risk. It's an entertaining risk, but what gets lost behind that exuberance, right, is where it comes from. The Athletic framed it as, in a sport in baseball that's going more by the numbers, more analytical, more stat driven, Tony Vitello seems like a player's coach, that authentic kind of human connection and genuine, where he's not doing it to put on a show. He's not doing it to play a character. He's doing that because it's who he is. And if that's genuinely who he is, at least the people that wrote about the Giants situation for the Athletic said that could be refreshing for baseball, not just the Giants.
It's interesting. 402-464-5685, the Honda of Lincoln hotline, the Starter Heyman text line are open for you guys the entire show. Once again, Nick Sainert joined today by Austin Orman. AD is back. tomorrow as we continue this preview of Nebraska Northwestern. We'll get to plenty of Nebraska football stuff. We spent the entire show kind of recapping and giving our initial thoughts on Nebraska, Minnesota yesterday and some of the stuff that the coordinators said. If you missed any of that, you can feel free to go back on the podcast page and check it out. But we are going to dive into some other things throughout today's program, in the next hour and 45 minutes. And we get a text from 1154 on the text line that says, look at Dan Campbell with the Lions. He sparks 30-year-olds. And that's true, right? Like, I think that there's something unique, obviously, about these guys that baseball is one of the sports also where it's like they'll pan to the managers, and even in the biggest moments, they'll have a stone cold look on their face. And I don't know if there's a right way or a wrong way to go about this. I think it's just out of the norm, which I guess in that case, it falls right into the line with maybe what this move indicates and symbolizes is that this is an outlier. This is a unique move. Nobody's ever done this without climbing the ranks like you kind of talked about. There's been guys that, the year after that they've retired from professional baseball, that they've been a manager, and David Ross is the most recent of those with the Chicago Cubs.
Stephen Vogt.
Yeah, Stephen Vogt, thank you. That didn't last very long, and Vogt's been fine with the Guardians by all means. But in this conversation, to where you are taking one of the best college baseball coaches from a success standpoint, right? Like, we don't know about the intricacies that Tony Vitello uses with his teams, but we know it proves results and it gives success to the volunteer baseball program. You're taking the best. Like, I'm trying to think of like a football move to where the organization in the NFL is similar to the Giants. Been fine. Not great, not horrible. They haven't been horrendous by any means. They've made moves at the deadline. They have interesting front office personnel, right? With Buster Posey. I'm trying to think of an NFL comp and what coach they would take in that would be equal to Tony Vitello and what he means to college baseball.
Another 4 or 5 years, and it's Kenny Dillingham.
Okay. I was going to say potentially Dan Lanning.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I would say today's Dan Lanning.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Okay, so somebody on the text line, Thomas and Lincoln, says 49ers. Like, because I think that, Austin, like, the way to make this interesting for maybe just the casual baseball fans or even people that aren't baseball fans, and that's fine that you're in that lane, is like, okay, what can we compare it to in NFL terminology?
Well, see, that's why I would push back a little bit even on Dan Campbell, because Campbell grinded his way through the ranks.
Sure.
He was an NFL player. He was an assistant, special teams, tight ends, all that stuff. Dan Campbell did all the little stuff on his way up the ladder. He was an unorthodox pick for Detroit. But that's why I think he is the way he is with the players, because that's who he was as a player. And what makes him so relatable is that he's been where those guys have been for the most part, right? Maybe not in, Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Penei Sewell territory in terms of being, an all-star or a Pro Bowler, but Dan Campbell knows what it's like. Tony Vitello really doesn't.
Yeah.
There's not that professional coaching experience. There's not that professional playing experience.
That part.
And that's not to say that that's the end-all, be-all of qualifications, right? Plenty of guys who haven't played or didn't play much went on to be incredibly successful managers relative to their circumstances and just overall. So having played and having that major league experience is often viewed as an asset because it is. But I think there are enough good things about Tony Vitello that he's at least worth the shot, even absent meeting those criteria.
I mean, here's what's interesting. Okay, here's a connection to Nebraska in a way. Comes from the Dave Van Horn tree. He's part of the Dave Van Horn tree, to where he was an assistant at Arkansas prior to his head coaching experience at Tennessee. And so I guess to relate it to Nebraska fans, I mean, this is so Dave Van Horn would be an equivalent to what coach in college football right now? Because it's not to the Saban, because he doesn't have the championships.
No. Dave Van Horn would be
that we could say, you know what? That's where I think Kenny Dillingham's not a bad comp, because Dan Lanning's been close, similar to Dave Van Horn. And then you have Dillingham leave to go to Arizona State.
Yeah.
Has success, maybe not national. I mean, he's had national success, but
just 1 year.
Not to the sense of Tony Vitello.
Right.
But then is out, the personalities match up.
Right.
And this is, I mean, honestly, this is like an endless conversation. We could go on about this forever. It's an interesting rabbit hole to dive into because I think
Brian Kelly's been close without the championship.
Yeah, what?
But
that's
NFL's not taking him.
Yeah, that's a whole nother conversation.
Franklin's not going to the NFL and no championship.
Yeah.
We
have a couple on the text line. Lincoln Riley,
no chip.
Yeah, no championships.
Kind of young hot shot. I see that angle of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Neil's right on that.
Yeah, but Riley's stock has really plummeted.
There's been a couple of coaches. Okay. Okay, Ryan Day's actually a really good. I think that's just a good comp for Urban Meyer connection. Meyer connection. So that would be the Dave Van Horn piece.
Right.
Okay, so I think we can fall in line there.
Final answer, Ryan Day.
I think we can fall in line. So it would be a middle of the road NFL organization swaying Ryan Day away from Ohio State.
Who is the most mid NFL team? The most forgettable NFL team.
This is a good conversation. We had 49ers earlier, which I think
they're not forgettable.
They're not
and they're
forgettable,
good.
and they're also. Now, granted, you have the San Francisco connection, so you'd have a similar market size.
Would it be like New Orleans? But no, they've been pretty bad. It can't be them. Chargers have had runs. I'm thinking like Cardinals, Falcons, maybe.
This is the tough part of it. I mean, what about the
Bills before McDermott?
Well, here's what I was going to say before their start this year, Austin. I mean, what about the Colts?
Oh yeah, incredibly mid.
Like that's before they got Danny Dimes,
right?
How about that?
Before the
Tyler Warren,
the Cam Bynum contract paid off.
I was going to say everybody talks about sidebar. Everybody talks about Tyler Warren and Daniel Jones and stuff. That defense is legit.
The defense needs some help, but they upgraded at a couple of key positions. I mean, go and get Charvarius Ward, who then gets concussed by a third string tight end. That's pretty unfortunate.
That's true.
These things happen, but Cam Bynum's been good. Mm-hmm. Zaire Franklin continues to podcast, and it kind of pisses me off, but he's at least playing decently well.
Wait, you don't like people that do podcasts?
I don't like Zaire Franklin running his mouth.
Thank
specifically.
You. Clear that up. Not from here. We like Ticket Podcasts.
Correct. We like Ticket Podcasts. I like Athlete Podcasts, but last year it got a little aggressive on Zaire Franklin.
Austin doesn't like members of sports teams doing podcasts.
When their team is losing and you are part of the reason why.
Okay, there you go.
You know, because you're running your mouth against organizational legends for no reason. Anyways, it's a whole nother story that we don't have time to get into. Zaire playing well. I brought up DeForest Buckner on Old School a few weeks ago, and DP just tried to laugh me out of the room. Like, who knows who DeForest Buckner? I mean, Buck's a top 3 defensive tackle in the NFL.
Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah, I like it. I need a jersey for Christmas.
We're in line with it'd be essentially the Colts taking Ryan Day.
Yes.
Okay, there's your NFL comp.
We nailed it.
There's your NFL comp. We had no plans to go down this road. I wanted to talk.
Can I do the college basketball one?
Oh,
real quick.
Yes, yeah. If you have it,
it would be the Atlanta Hawks taking Todd Golden.
Okay, that's not bad.
It's really good.
Florida head coach going to the Atlanta Hawks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
1 title.
Yep.
Only recent success. Was a dormant program that he revived a little bit,
and to a forgettable franchise.
Mm-hmm.
I miss the old Atlanta Hawks view, like the way it looked.
Yeah.
I miss the days of Horford and Teague, and I'm trying to think of some other ones.
Do you remember that time their entire starting lineup was named Player of the Month?
Josh Smith.
Yep.
Josh Smith was
Joe Johnson. ISO Joe.
Joe Johnson, number
Damari
2.
Carroll.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Carroll wore number 5, I think, if I remember correctly.
At some point. I think that's a Missouri guy, isn't he?
Yeah. Speaking of Missouri guy, Tony Vitello.
Bang.
Full circle.
Full circle.
How about that? All right, let's take a break. We were going to talk a little NBA just to close out the segment. I think we might push that to 9:45 because there was some breaking news in the NBA, and an acting head coach won't be coaching. He'll be in court today.
You bet we'll get there.
Yeah, we'll do that next. We'll do that in the 9:45 segment. But when we come back, let's talk briefly Nebraska versus Northwestern. Matt Rhule is going to speak to the media today, and I'm sure there are not usually a whole lot of substance on a Thursday press conference, but that's okay. So we'll get to that throughout the course of the program. Make sure you stick with us. 402-464-5685, the Honda of Lincoln hotline. The Starter Heyman text line are open for you. I got a text. How about this? So if you listened to the show before, thank you. If you are new here, welcome. If you've listened before, you know that the Lincoln Children's Museum is doing game day play dates. Well, how about this? I got a text from Ellie, not our Ellie, Lincoln Children's
Ellie.
Museum Ellie.
LCM Ellie.
This morning that they are almost sold out for the Northwestern game.
Go fast. Sign up quick.
Spots are limited. There's only a few spots left. If you're making your way down to the stadium this Saturday for Nebraska Northwestern, go to LincolnChildren'sMuseum.org right now. Right now. Do not wait. It's affordable, convenient, just steps away from Memorial Stadium. Game day play dates. You drop off your child or children 90 minutes or sooner before the game, and then you can pick up your child or children up to 60 minutes after the game. There's no leaving early. You don't have to miss any of the action. You can walk on over. You can enjoy all your pregame festivities that we all care so much about here in Lincoln, and enjoy a Husker game while your children are at the Lincoln Children's Museum for game day play dates. A lot of fun activities. You can learn more and sign up, register ahead of game day online at the LincolnChildren'sMuseum.org. All right, let's step aside the drive. Nick Sainer, Austin Norman continues next.
All right, Lincoln, if you're a diesel technician who's ready to earn up to $40 an hour and you're tired of working nights and weekends, listen up. Inland Truck Parts and Service is hiring experienced diesel technicians right here in Lincoln, and they're offering what every hardworking tech wants. Monday through Friday hours, no nights, no weekends, and paid training on advanced diesel technology. With 37 locations across 12 states, career advancement opportunities are endless. Start building towards your future and apply today at inlandtruck.com. That's inlandtruck.com. Or text APPLY to 785-369-1320.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
I can't believe I just scratched that car. Find my insurance card.
Dude, what do you have in this glove box? Ew, are these socks dirty?
Oh, forget about the socks. I need my insurance card.
Just pull it up on the State Farm mobile app.
But I can do that? Oh, hey, I can do that.
Yep, it's called service.
I can file a claim on here too?
Yeah, it's called service.
Whoa, I can call my agent too?
It's called service.
Call your local State Farm agent, Vinny Krikak, today at 402-474-1173.
Make your next event unforgettable with Grazing Gouda, your local artists and experts in charcuterie and grazed tables. From boardrooms to ballrooms, they turn gatherings into experiences with stunning spreads of artesian cheeses, cured meats, fresh fruits, and gourmet bites. Perfect for corporate luncheons, weddings, parties, or any celebration that deserves a wow moment. They handle the details. You take the compliments. Book your graze table today at GrazingGouda.com. Grazing Gouda, because every event deserves to be savored.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, areas of frost this morning. Otherwise, we'll see mainly sunny skies and light winds today with a high near 65. Tonight, increasing clouds and calm winds, low near 45. And tomorrow, a chance of showers, otherwise cloudy skies with a high near 57. I'm meteorologist Kyle Fleck for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Rick Heyman here from Sauter Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. You can count on Sauter Heyman for the very best quality, value, and customer service. When it comes to your jewelry needs, visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at SauterHeyman.com, and thank you for your continued trust after all these years.
Tune in every Sunday from 3 to 5 p.m. for The Law of Lift with Dr. Lawrence Chatters. Sit back and enjoy listening to Dr. Chatters discuss real stories involving struggle, inspiration, and real-life experiences with special guests and insights. Remember, the higher the pressure, the greater the lift. The Law of Lift with Dr. Lawrence Chatters. Every Sunday from 3 to 5 p.m. right here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hi, my name is Molly Party. I'm a realtor with MP Dodge Real Estate. I'm a newly licensed agent and considered numerous brokerages before deciding on MP Dodge. I chose the company that gives me the most support in my new career, plus guidance and encouragement along the way. MP Dodge has a unique mentoring program for new agents. It's helped jumpstart my career and has a supportive management team and administrative staff. So if you're contemplating a career in real estate, look no further than MP Dodge. It will be the best decision you make.
Hey there, this is Paul Scheel, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
We interrupt this commercial break for an important story.
There once was a man from Nebraska who went searching for food in Alaska. When his stomach was rumbling while laying in bed, he could think of only one option, Fuhrer's cheese spread. So he left at once and drove day and night to return back home for cheese spread delight. Now his stomach is full and the voice in his head tells him no more vacations without Fuhrer's cheese spread. Find yours today at most local grocers.
Now back to The Drive with Aaron Davis and Nick Sainert. Sponsored by Doors Plus on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back in. It is The Drive, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Nick Sainert alongside Austin Orman on a Thursday. Yes, Thursday.
Officially.
I said that as we opened the show, and sometimes the days run together, and I wasn't 100% confident in that way, but I came across confident, and nobody ever said anything, so there we go.
If you think the days run together, the weeks run together for me. I thought we were in Chicago last week.
That's true. See,
so you're good.
And here's the thing, is yesterday when you said that, you said it the first time, you were like, yeah, a week ago we were doing NLDS, and I was like, it was a little bit more than a week ago, but I'll let it slide, and then you brought it up.
Again.
Yeah, then you brought it up, and I can't,
Can't let it slide twice.
No, I'm not that. Yeah, somebody's got to. Anyway, 402-464-5685, the Honda of Lincoln hotline, and the Starter Heyman text line are open for you guys the rest of the show, as well as the Starter Heyman Jewelers live video stream, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Allo Cable Channel 961. We are also reachable, attainable on Twitter, Nick_Sainert and at Austin_Orman. So make sure you reach out to us. You can always
get my boy to 2K.
Yes, we are like 4 away from
get him there.
From 2.
Come on.
See, I never like to tell people like that stuff.
Well, I'll do it.
But I don't, because there's always people that are like, well, I'm going to go and follow you now, so that way you're farther from 2000. So like, I've been at like 1900 for like a year, and I'm steps away now. So I need a couple Husker football tweets to go viral. That's all that matters. But anyway,
you also had a Husker baseball tweet or a Nebraska baseball tweet go viral yesterday.
I cannot believe the reaction. I normally, you tweet stuff about baseball, and it's like, okay, it's not going to get a whole lot of traction, but it is what it is. Speaking of baseball, we can say this. We don't need. I mean, he might join the show at some point. I haven't talked to him. But anyway, there is a special guest out in our mill coffee cafe today. And that is, we have a lot of people out there. First off, let's just go through the list of who's all out there right now. We have Jeremiah Tripp of Computer Hardware, good friend of the station, right? We also have Darren Burgers of Raising Cane's,
shout out,
who's in the station. We also have of Chick-fil-A, good friend of the program of the station, Charlie Colon.
Charlie, what's up?
And meeting with Charlie is a former Husker baseball player in Brett Sears, Big Ten Pitcher of the Year.
Atlanta's very own.
Everybody's hanging out in the mill on 11. See, that's what I'm telling you. You come on down. You never know who's going to show up. You never know who you're going to see. So it's a good time down here on the mill on 11th and at the 93.7 The Ticket Studios. All right. Let's dive into a little Nebraska football here, Austin, because we're going to hear from Matt Rule today Thursday press conferences, usually there's not a whole lot of substance. They last less than 10 minutes on the norm, on the regular, and that's okay. Is there anything that you're looking forward to hearing from? I think that the main message, and this is just my prediction, the main message that we're going to have and hear is, okay, you know what? Monday and Tuesday gave us an opportunity to talk about it. It's time to move on to Northwestern. That's our full focus right now. And I think anything other than that is just nonsense.
Yeah, no, I think that's the message that's going to be. It's going to be, yep, good week of practice. Feel like the guys are in a good headspace. Made some changes, some tweaks. I don't think the changes are going to be mentioned, but, tweak some things that we needed to tweak. I'm excited for the challenge. Northwestern has our full attention. I made sure of that. The guys were really receptive this week, eye-opening experience and whatnot. Really excited to get another chance, blah, blah, blah.
I think that, when you look at the way Nebraska, it's going to be interesting. Like, I'm really fascinated to watch the game on Saturday because every little thing we're going to have in the back of our minds, what happened last weekend and the things that, like, offensively, let's start on that side of the ball. Mm-hmm. Offensively, things that Dana Holgorsen said, to where he wants to run the ball. And he wants to buy into this. And like, there's all this philosophy that Dana wants to take part in. I think it's accurate, but once again, actions in the moment are different than maybe what the words are said earlier or later in the week. And I'm going to find the play calling process fascinating on Saturday, because if the run starts to not work, or if they do get a couple of negative plays, do we see them abort it and go, oh, we're jumping ship, we're moving on? Or do we see them continue because it was such a big focus point this week?
It's time to put the money where the mouth is or move the money.
Yeah.
One of the two. Either you want to run the ball, and here's the chance to prove it against a team that, yes, it will be tough to run on, but not impossible. Or say, you know what? I said that because my head coach wanted to. Mm-hmm. We'll do the token runs. When it makes sense, we'll try it. But hey, you guys see the hot rod over here in Dylan Raiola?
Yeah.
And I want to take that guy out for a spin. Let him spin it around the yard. That's what I want to do. And whatever they decide is on them. They put the game plan together. Hopefully it looks better this week than it did last week. But I also don't think that now is the time you can just flip that run the ball switch.
Sure.
Just because it's getting chilly. I think Nebraska missed the opportunities to establish that it had any idea or any, consistency in committing to the run game. If you do it now, it's going to feel forced unless it works. And then, where's this been all season? But do you expect it to work? I don't.
Lose. Yeah, lose.
I don't expect it to go that well for Nebraska as I would say the slate toughens up. It hasn't been, the hardest road hasn't been the easiest road, but Nebraska's surface numbers are fine in yards per game. Attempts are below what people want, maybe the head coach even as well. But, if Nebraska runs it 25 times and only scores 17 points, Nebraska runs it 30 times and only scores 20 points. Is that really what people want? Mm-hmm. I don't think so. I think Husker fans want to see Nebraska put points on the board. Sure, they'd like it to be with running the ball. But again, we've seen when Nebraska's passed the ball and won, there haven't been complaints.
I think it's interesting. Northwestern has given up, Northwestern on the road is giving up 203 rushing yards per game this season. There's an avenue here, right? Mm-hmm. And I think, this is not me trying to pour cold water on this whole situation, but I think to a certain extent, Nebraska's not as good as maybe they think or we thought they were. And Minnesota came back to bite them in the butt, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was having a conversation with a couple of people this morning, and I just I had the thought of like, we talked about the fragility of the program yesterday, and I brought up they're fragile, but they're not good enough just on the football field where you can say, hey, just move on from that and go play football.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot more to it for Nebraska. They're much more they're much more complex when it comes to Nebraska football this season than I think we realize.
They still need to see positive results.
Yes.
They can talk about process all they want, but because they saw the good result, that boosted their confidence. It
Absolutely.
seems like. Maybe that led to some feelings of overconfidence against Minnesota. So, you don't have that identity yet as a full program, player to player of being process oriented, because number one, what process are you sticking to?
Yeah.
Because the words that you hear from your head coach in public don't always match up with what happens on Saturday, and we don't know what goes on the practice field. So, yeah, no, I think that's a totally fair way to phrase that.
402-464-5685, the Honda of Lincoln hotline, the Starter Heyman text line open for you guys. Let's go to the Honda of Lincoln hotline. We've got Tyler on the line. Tyler, what's on your mind on this Thursday?
Hey, guys. How are you?
Not too bad, Tyler. What's up?
Good. I just got it's kind of a hot take. It's kind of out of left field, but so, we got ties to the Chiefs, and I'm not saying that we need to hire anybody from the Chiefs, but we got the D-line coach from the Chiefs. We've got, we played Cincinnati at the stadium there at the Arrowhead. And, Mahomes and Raiola. So maybe with our offensive line, we should consult the offensive lineman coach from the Chiefs a little bit. Maybe we should consult him a little bit and see how we maneuver with a quarterback who is, I don't like the Mahomes and Raiola comparison, but he plays like him. We should at least consult that offensive line coach because he's been there since 2013 and he's coached Mahomes the entire time. And guess what? He's coached before Mahomes when they were bad. So we should consult him a little bit and see how do we maneuver with a quarterback like this.
Oh, appreciate that, Tyler. I think that's a unique idea. I will say this, and it goes back to my take that I had on Monday. And it's not in direct response to Tyler, because I think that if you at any point in any field feel like you're the smartest in the room, then that's a problem, right?
Mm-hmm.
And especially in coaching, like you hear some of the best coaches and the most experienced coaches talking about how they can consistently learn from other coaches that maybe aren't as successful, but have new things to instill in their guys, right? And so there's a lot of just communication and connecting in Tyler's case that I think you can have. And I think it can be very positive 99% of the time. My continuous take that I keep going back to, though, and it's not directly using the example that Tyler gave us, and thanks for the phone call, is that a part of a head coach's responsibility and job is to identify assistant coaches that can come in and do the job. I think Nebraska fans have to be careful here. And we've heard a lot about bringing in consultants. And, hey, you brought in Dana last year for Satterfield, and you brought in Phil Snow last year for Tony White. And why can't we do that this year with Donovan Raiola? And while that's true that they did that, number one, it's not normal. Mm-hmm. And number two, that means that things were going bad.
Mm-hmm.
Nebraska needs to get to a point, Matt Rule needs to get to a point where there's some stability and there's consistent success within all off assistant coaches. And so I understand the offensive line is a massive issue.
You know who else the offensive line has been an issue for in the last 5 years? The Kansas City Chiefs.
Sure, yes. But I'm saying just big picture wise, right? Take the specific team out of it. Is that you shouldn't you shouldn't have to bring in consultants. You shouldn't want to. You shouldn't just be able to draw back on that and say, hey, let's bring in somebody that doesn't have a job right now that can just stop on in and help our current guys out that we're paying hundreds of thousands of dollars for. No, I think the accountability piece is massive, which Donovan Raiola has taken a lot of heat, understandably so. Matt Rule has taken a lot of accountability. I think the biggest thing here is that Matt Rule's got to decide if these are the coaches he really wants
or needs.
Mm-hmm. And I'm talking at the end of every season, evaluate. I'm not calling for jobs. I don't think firing Donovan Raiola after Game 7 does Nebraska no good. I am so far off on that because number one, assistant offensive line coach is going to probably teach a lot of the similar things that Donovan taught. So if he now is elevated to head offensive line coach, okay.
And now a first-time positional coach doesn't have an assistant with him.
Yeah, so there's a lot that it's a irrational move in my opinion. Now, when things are really bad at times, yeah, sure, you can justify it, I suppose, in some cases. But what I keep going back to is all of the struggles, and this is more than for me than just the offensive line. over the last 3 years, all of the turnover and all of the off the field issues and all of the non-football reasons why guys have left, and what I mean by guys leaving, coaches leaving, firing, mishandling of contracts, all of it. It goes back to one guy. There is one guy responsible for identifying good assistant coaches, and that's Matt Rule. And so, like, the connection, it's funny that you brought up the NFL piece, Austin, or he brought up the NFL piece, because I was just listening to a PJ Fleck interview yesterday, and Kevin O'Connell was at the Nebraska-Minnesota game last weekend. And he talked about his connection to the Vikings. These coaches have connections all over the country, right? And they are meaningful. To Tyler's point, they can be a positive reinforcement and a help in things. But you don't need to rely on them. And I'm not saying Tyler was saying that, but we can't go through this year after year saying, oh man, this position group is underperforming. Man, we need to bring somebody in to help him. No! If I hire Austin, I'm hiring Austin to do the bleeping job. And if it's not done, then so be it. Then we evaluate and have tough conversations.
It's also interesting to consider Matt Rule's coaching hires in light of what he said when he first got here and what he's continued to say. He wants to coach his coaches.
Yeah.
He wants to be that coaching development guy. He wants to invest in them and give young guys a shot. And that's noble. That's admirable. That's right. But I think it goes back to what you said. For as much as you are learning on the job naturally, Nebraska isn't the job that you take for your first job.
Yeah.
That's where maybe you can start as an assistant coach, assistant to an assistant, right? An analyst or the, positional assistant, but not the lead assistant in Nebraska. Fine. So be it. That's how you do it. But you're at Nebraska. You know what the standard and the expectation is. And that's where, if Matt Rule would have come in with Dana Holgorsen, it feels a lot different than pivoting to Dana Holgorsen, the former consultant. It feels a lot different if Matt Rule had come in with Phil Snow, on staff, special assistant to the head coach, whatever, versus pivoting to him and then having another cook in the kitchen for a couple of years defensively, a guy that you clearly trust, enjoy, appreciate, and whatnot. But yeah, at some point, and you would think the point would be year 3. We even said going into this year, even though it's not a perfect staff, it felt like the best staff overall.
Yeah.
That Matt Rule had at least the most potential.
Yes.
But that's where you see, is Addison Williams making a difference?
And
it's hard in 1 year. Is Donovan Raiola making a difference? I don't know. Terry Braden, year 1, first time coaching the position in college. It's hard to expect a guy like that to make a difference in year 1. But how do other schools hit on difference makers that make a difference in year 1?
I think it's so fascinating because I want to make sure I'm clarifying my opinion here in that I'm not faulting Matt Rule for making changes and making, I think it's important on one hand to have the awareness and the ability to pivot. Like that is part of the adjustment as a head coach. That's part of the fluidity of coaching. I think at times, especially as the head coach, you have the ability to move guys around. But then to that being said, there's also so much movement to where it can become unstable. And that's where it feels like from a big picture conversation, this staff collectively has not been together that long. You have Rob Dvorak, who's been there since the start, EJ Barthel, Marcus Satterfield, and Donovan Raiola.
Right.
That's it.
And that's for 2.5 years.
Yeah. That's a short time. Now, it'd be different if Nebraska was pumping out assistants to be head coaches.
Right.
But they're not.
Well, let me also say this on the number of changes. I think fans want that to be a science. If I mix this with that because of this over here, it will work. It will click. It's good to go. But managing personalities, managing people and development is an art. If you make a move to change coaches, coordinators, whatever, and it works, it's a savvy move. If you make a move and it doesn't work, it looks like panic. Oh, why'd you pull the trigger so quickly? Well, because diminishing returns. I don't want to, it's sunk cost. Well, I already went with this guy, so we may as well keep him around. Or he's only been around for a year, so we can cut bait quickly. That's where when Matt Rule makes these determinations, I assume alongside maybe getting some opinion from Phil Snow, maybe Troy Dana and other football people that he trusts. It's not as simple as well, I can go get this guy who will plug in and immediately fix. Because if you see a coach that you see some promise in, some potential in, keep him around. Trust your process if you think you can develop him. But at some point, you have to weigh where is it okay to be process-oriented in developing your coaches and results-oriented in, I've got to win games for my career and because this place deserves to win games.
Yeah, it's a really tricky thing. And I'm like, don't get me wrong. Oh, wrong button. Sorry about that, folks. Don't get me wrong. I am thrilled that I'm not tasked with it, right? Like there's a lot to, and then I think that there's also something to be said about when you spend as much time together as these guys do as a coaching staff, and this is head coach included, guys can wear on other guys. Yeah. Like you can, and so to be able to, and I think we saw a little of that frustration from John Butler. It was, and this is not always a negative. The way John Butler talked on Tuesday, it showed that there was more, not even frustration, just worn down from coaches rather than the play on the field. Like he was mad about the play on the field. Don't get me wrong, but you have to be. There was some exhausted answers, I think, in there. And
just look at the guy.
There was, like the facial expressions that he gave. And in terms of a rather new defensive coordinator and somebody that has to speak to the media every day, this is newer to him. He might not hide it as well as a veteran would. He might not hide it as well as Dana Holgorsen did. And so I think that there's also some truth to that, of where coaches can wear on other coaches, and it can get exhaustive at times. We're halfway through the year. There's a lot of football left. And I think that's part of why I think it's very fragile right now. And this is a massive, massive couple of weeks in Nebraska football. Let's step aside. We round out the 9 o'clock hour after this.
Hi, Sean Callahan here, and I've got some great news for you. Coppell Chevrolet GMC is proud to be the #1 fastest growing GMC dealer in the Omaha and Lincoln metros. Coppell is also celebrating its 50th anniversary. We want to say thank you to all of our customers that have helped us reach these milestones. So come see why so many customers, including myself, are choosing Coppell Chevrolet GMC for their automotive needs. Please check us out at CoppellCars.com.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old-fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with taco night on Mondays or whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake. Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
Tune in every Sunday from 3 to 5 p.m. for The Law of Lift with Dr. Lawrence Chatters. Sit back and enjoy listening to Dr. Chatters discuss real stories involving struggle, inspiration, and real-life experiences with special guests and insights. Remember, the higher the pressure, the greater the lift. The Law of Lift with Dr. Lawrence Chatters. Every Sunday from 3 to 5 p.m. right here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Ready to score big with your projects? Look no further than Edward Stone, the MVP of natural stone for over 2 decades. Edward Stone is cranking out over 30,000 square feet every week and offers a winning lineup of over 70 quality natural veneer stone selections. Their unbeatable variety and experienced team will ensure your project is a success, whether it's a home renovation or a commercial build. And hey, they're not just about stone. They've got an all-star lineup of fireplaces, cast stone, brick, and much more. Swing by one of their locations in Lincoln or Omaha today and experience the Edward Stone difference, your reliable choice for over 20 years.
Is your heating system ready for cooler weather? Call Bryant to schedule your fall heating check. No matter what brand, call 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Vino Cleaning Services and Noreen Home Care Services would like to remind all of our lady listeners that breast cancer is a serious issue. 1 out of 8 women fall victim to this silent predator, but if detected early, steps can be taken towards treatment and prevention. Vino Cleaning Services and Noreen Home Care Services, providing professional, commercial, and residential janitorial services, as well as home care services, assistance with daily activities, and more. Call 402-805-2190. That's 805-2190. Vino Cleaning Services or Noreen Home Care Services. On the air because they care.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red.
Prepare for the Maximum Fun Tour. A day to remember. Yellow Card. Pinnacle Bank Arena. Friday, October 31st. Special guests, The Wonder Years and Dinosaur Pile-Up. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. The Maximum Fun Tour. A day to remember. Yellow Card.
When your home fills up with family, Allo Fiber makes sure that space is a happy place for everyone. Allo Fiber experts install it all. And full service means step-by-step support, guiding you through everything so you can stay connected to what matters. And the family can always feel at home. Put the game on, and don't worry about your Wi-Fi calling a timeout. Better TV and internet service is one connection away. Call Allo at 866-481-2556 or visit allofiber.com.
Now back to the drive with Aaron Davis and Nick Sainer, sponsored by Doors Plus on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Well, welcome back in. It is The Drive, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. The number to call and text, 402-464-5685 on the Honda of Lincoln hotline and the Starter Heyman text line, as well as the Starter Heyman Jewelers live video stream, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Allo Cable Channel 961. All places for you guys to get in touch with the show there. Real quickly, as we round out the 9 o'clock hour, let's go ahead and dive in a little bit to the NBA stuff, and we might have to pick it up on the other side just so we stay on time here today. But Chauncey Billups arrested this morning. Portland, he was the head coach of the Portland Trailblazers currently. Well, not anymore, probably. But was the head coach of the Portland Trailblazers in connection to the Mafia, Austin. The Mafia.
The actual, honest to goodness, Mafia. La Costra. What is it? Like La Nostra Familia or Casa Nostra,
something like
that. Apparently having to do with rigged dealing machines in poker games.
Yeah, are we talking like in a casino? Or, I haven't been able to read in depth yet, because it was kind of all coming to the forefront and to the light as I was driving into work this morning.
Oh, here we go. The poker games, not.
But are we talking like back alley poker games? Like, is that what we're talking about?
Kind of seems like it. Okay. Which included basketball players to lend credibility to their authenticity, were allegedly rigged in favor of those running the games, using advanced technology such as rigged shuffling machines and even X-ray technology to read face-down cards.
Wow.
Let's see.
Wow.
Among the defendants are current former NBA coaches and players, as well as 13 Mafia members and associates from the Bonanno, Gambino, and Genovese crime families. Authorities described it as a sprawling criminal enterprise to dupe unsuspecting gamblers.
So, like, crime families are still a thing.
They're still around. They still exist.
That's bizarre, man. That's crazy. So yeah, Chauncey Billups, one of them. Terry Rozier got arrested in Orlando hotel this morning.
Cavs player and assistant Damon Jones as well for what officials described as an overlapping case tied to prop betting on NBA games.
That's crazy.
Malik Beasley, I think, is getting brought in again.
Oh, not again.
I think that's continuing. So that's where we're at. Tim Donaghy, where are you?
Yeah.
Send up the Donaghy signal.
So okay, here's coming out. So FBI Director Kash Patel said, we are here in New York to announce a historic arrest across a wide sweeping criminal enterprises that envelopes both the NBA and La Cosa Nostra, like you said. Eastern District of New York attorney says, quote, these defendants bet on inside non-public information about NBA athletes and teams, including when specific players would be sitting out or pulling themselves due to, quote, injury.
Jonte.
Also a massive multi-million-dollar poker scheme involving the mob. This was named by the FBI Operation Nothing But Bet. Involving NBA players.
Nothing but bet.
Nothing but bet. NBA players. Wagers were placed on unders and player props. One case detailed was on March 23rd, 2023, when Terry Rozier said he was leaving the game early. Cash for throwing it was delivered to Rozier's home. U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of New York says, yes, the NBA has cooperated with the investigation. Wow.
I can't get over nothing but bet.
Yeah. Nothing but bet. That's crazy. This is going to be something to watch throughout the course of the show.
We haven't even mentioned the fact that some crown jewels got stolen from the Louvre as soon as it opened this week.
Jeez Louise, man.
What are we doing as a society?
Oh, that's a whole nother conversation. All right, let's step aside. 10 o'clock hour after this.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Rick Heyman here from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. You can count on Sartor Heyman for the very best quality, value, and customer service. When it comes to your jewelry needs, visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at sartorheyman.com, and thank you for your continued trust after all these years.
We interrupt this commercial break for an important story.
There once was a man from Nebraska who went searching for food in Alaska. When his stomach was rumbling while laying in bed, he could think of only one option, Führer's cheese spread. So he left it once and drove day and night to return back home for cheese spread delight. Now his stomach is full and the voice in his head tells him no more vacations without Führer's cheese spread. Find yours today at most local grocers. Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, areas of frost this morning. Otherwise, we'll see mainly sunny skies and light winds today with a high near 65. Tonight, increasing clouds and calm winds. low near 45. And tomorrow, a chance of showers, otherwise cloudy skies, the high near 57. I'm meteorologist Kyle Fleck for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Attention all Wings fans. Buffalo Wings and Rings has daily specials that will make you want to stop in on all days of the week. Kids eat free on Mondays, and on Tuesdays, enjoy 40% off boneless or traditional wings at a price that makes the whole family happy. And come back on Wednesdays for $1.39 chicken tenders all day long. Get to Wings and Rings today, 68th and O, or in Williamsburg Village. Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
Welcome to The Drive with Aaron Davis and Nick Sainert. Former football national champion, speaker, and author Aaron Davis.
Pain is a teacher if you use it. And the lessons in the carnage of pain sometimes are elusive. They hide, they're stealth. The work is finding the lessons through the pain. There's always a message in the mess. Depends on if we want to get dirty and look for it.
Nick Sainert.
Driving left side is Boyer, picks up his dribble, looking for some help, decides to go up strong with it, and the layup will rattle home. Jack Riley picks the pocket of B.J. Bradford up the floor to Jack Hostrider. Watch out! Lafisi in the lane, kicks it out. 3-ball, Townsley, right wing, it's good!
Sponsored by Doors Plus on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back in. It is The Drive, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. Hour number 2 of the show. AD back tomorrow after his excursion in South Dakota. Was in Omaha on Tuesday for a speaking engagement. Was in Sioux Falls yesterday and is in Brookings, South Dakota today. And so, once again, 402-464-5685 is the phone number to call and text. Thanks to Tyler earlier on the show, calling in on the Honda of Lincoln hotline. Appreciate that. We always appreciate phone calls. We get plenty of texts, but we love being able to actually talk to you guys as well. So feel free to call in if you have any thoughts on Nebraska football in the 10 o'clock hour. Before we get to Nebraska football, though, it is time for the IBA $1,000 cash contest keyword. Text it to 508-777-1000, or you can head to theticketfm.com and click on Cash Blitz to enter. Once again, that's 508-777-1000, or head to theticketfm.com and click on Cash Blitz to enter. Today's keyword is pay. Pay, P-A-Y, pay. Remember, every keyword you enter is another chance to win. One lucky listener will take home $1,000 tomorrow. Do not wait. Get that keyword in now. Once again, that phone number, 508-777-1000, or head to theticketfm.com and click on Cash Blitz to enter. Okay, Austin, let's dive back into Nebraska football here. Let's talk for the Nebraska offense, because I think there's a little bit more that we can dive into ahead of Saturday's matchup. I think a big key for the Huskers, number one, obviously the usual, keep hold of the football, don't turn it over, don't commit stupid penalties, especially offensive line and procedure penalties. All those are just that you can carry those over game after game. Who do you want to see get more touches this weekend? Who is somebody that you want to see the ball in the hands of?
I don't know if I can answer one specific guy right now.
Yeah.
What I do think needs to happen is that Nebraska might need to pare down the rotation a little bit. I want to see the vast majority of Nebraska's offensive snaps, injury notwithstanding, taken with its best players on the field.
Yeah.
And I think Nebraska's best players in the skill position specifically would be Dane Keene, Isaiah Hunter, Ja'Cory Barney.
Yeah.
Then you run out there in 11 personnel with Luke Lindenmeyer and Emmett Johnson. I get you have different packages. I get you have subs. I get you want to attack a defense in different ways. But I think those guys can do enough different things in different ways. And if those are the guys you want to get the ball to, I mean, we heard a couple weeks ago, well, Dane Key's not getting the ball, but he's doing everything, right? You know, the ball will find him. Can't find him if he's not in the game, and he has limited opportunities to run routes. You know, Ja'Cory Barney, not the biggest guy. That's a guy you kind of do have to scheme open a little bit. Hard to get him the ball when you want to go heavy all of a sudden just to run the ball, and then you feel like you have to force it his way, and then, oh, something broke down, we didn't get it to him.
Yeah.
Isaiah Hunter, I think you need that big playability on the field to threaten a defense. Lindenmeyer's been consistent. He's been pretty good. I think he's earned the ability and the right to stay on the field, and Emmett Johnson's the top running back. So I don't think you have to force feed one guy. That's not what I would do. I would just keep your best players on the field more often so that all of them have more of those opportunities for the ball to come their way.
It's interesting. I mean, there's a guy in the wide receiver room also that I'm really intrigued by, and that's Quinn Clark. He's been out there a few times. He was out there late in the Minnesota game when it was still within striking distance and caught the big 43-yard pass. I like the idea of a Quinn Clark piece to this offense. That's somebody that also hasn't been healthy in years past. And now that he is, we're seeing them start to kind of factor him in a little bit. I'm so much in the camp of, and this is the same, it goes for Cortez Mills, it goes for Quinn Clark, it goes for other guys. And this might not directly apply to guys like Quinn Clark and Cortez. If you're going to use them, if you're going to, play them more than 4 games, use them, right? Like if you feel like they're a valuable piece to be out there for more than 4 games, that's fine. But use them to that factor, to use them to their abilities, right? And I think we've seen flashes for a guy like Quinn Clark. I've been on the big, like, Ja'Cory Barney needs more touches train. I also think that Dane Key needs more touches. I think that they've tried to get him the ball, but it's been a lot of the same, get inside the 10, throw him a fade. If it doesn't work, they'll run it a couple of times, and that factors into the red zone woes. I wonder what this offense looks like when it fully churns. And I think a heavy part of that is also Emmett Johnson.
Yes, agreed on a lot of that. I'll say this to your other young guys question. Are they good enough to play, or are they better than Nebraska's top guys?
Good point.
That's where I'm coming at it from, because I agree. Quinn Clark and Cortez Mills, 2 exciting young players.
Yeah.
Right. We've seen Keelan Smith fall out of the rotation from the early going. Jeremiah Jones kind of the same way. But if you have, let's say, those top 5 receivers of Key, Barney, Hunter, Mills, and Clark, there are reps to go around for Clark and for Mills. They're good enough to be on the field. But if they're not better than those top guys, they got to be spot reps. It's got to be an 85-15 split. I think at this point of the year, right? Guys that have been through the grind of college football before, that have played, that you trust to get open. If Quinn Clark is better right now than Dane Key, put him out there. I just don't believe that's the case.
I agree.
If Cortez Mills is better right now than Ja'Cory Barney, and maybe not perfect positional overlap, put him out there. But I don't necessarily believe that that's the case. Emmett Johnson needs those touches directed his way. That's not a guy the ball just finds. You have to be intentional at handing it off to him or designing plays for him. So if he's, taking Nebraska from a touchback at the 30-yard lines where they start, and Emmett Johnson has Nebraska down to the red zone, they're in the 20. Okay, maybe you give a Quentin Ives a shot for a couple plays to get Emmett a breather. Maybe you get Isaiah Mosey a touch or two just to see if he can do something.
Sure.
But you got to make sure those guys keep the drive going to where you give Emmett the reward of, hey, you did all the hard work. Thanks for getting us down here. Let's get you back in the game in crunch time, in money time, because you're our best player.
Yeah, I feel like Nebraska at some point this season needs to be away from the, we're still learning about this guy, so we're going to give him some touches, right? I feel like Nebraska has a pretty good understanding, and if they don't, they need to, of what each guy can provide and in what area, right? And I think that's where it's unfortunate and it's disappointing to see guys, I want to say frozen out of the offense, because I don't think it's intentional, right? But this is where it falls on Dylan to see an open guy, right? there was the one example that I keep using from the Minnesota game, and you might not have been able to see it on TV. It was in a moment where Nebraska was down 14-6, and Dillon rolls out to his right side. Nebraska's going towards the north end zone, right to left, I would imagine, on the TV screen. And Dillon rolls out to his right. Emmett Johnson's in the flat, and Ja'Cory Barney's running like kind of an out post to the boundary, or a post to the boundary on the far sideline, wide open. Would have been, Dillon's made that throw 35,000 times, I would imagine. And he just chucked it down low to Emmett without even thinking it, without even looking upfield. And on one hand, I attribute that to he was getting hit. He probably felt like the walls were caving in on him and he needed to get the ball out quicker, when that wasn't the case. He was just a little gun shy on Friday towards the end of the game. And then the other side is that's on Dillon to also be able to recognize pre-snap and then in the middle of a play to deliver the mail. All of that doesn't go against Dana Holgorsen. We look at that and go, wow, that was a 3-yard play. I mean, that was really bad. Well, Dana called the right play. Dana called it something that worked. It was the players not able to execute on that. So there's so many facets. There's so many layers to this conversation.
And to that point, Nebraska's been better against zone than man. But guess what? You see a lot in the Big Ten. You see man, big, physical, long, fast corners. Maybe Holgorsen's called the man beaters. Maybe he hasn't. But, there's just not as much good zone defense in college. It's tougher to play.
Sure.
In some ways. Nebraska, for the most part, has picked that apart. So what does Dana Holgorsen do against man? I mean, especially in the red zone. But I used to be very firmly, staunchly anti-fade.
Yeah.
But now I at least understand the rationale behind it.
Yeah.
In doing Whiteboard Wednesday or White Boy Wednesday with Jay Foreman more and more consistently here, Jay's talked me through the mindset of an offensive coordinator and a defensive coordinator. Whereas a defensive coordinator, if your guy's in a one-on-one with someone, you hope they can hold up, but that's not how you design it. You need your guys to win one-on-ones.
Yeah.
It's the same thing on offense for a running back in space, right? If you get to the second level, Jay said it yesterday, the running back is paid to make me miss. Quote, Jay Foreman, right? You get to the third level, you are paid to make that safety miss and hit your head on the goalpost. When you're in the red zone and you're Dane Key, you're tall, you're lanky, you have long arms. Sometimes a one-on-one, throw it up to this guy, it feels like a prayer. Yeah, it feels inefficient, but you got a matchup that you wanted. Sure. You got a taller receiver on a cornerback that you think you can take advantage of. You just hope your quarterback puts it in the right spot. And especially if Dillon is going to be the engine of this offense.
Yeah.
Well compensated, has played pretty well. As an offensive coordinator, you can talk yourself into, you know what? We have a matchup. There's no safety rotating over. It's a smaller corner. Let me give my guy a chance. That does not excuse being poor running the ball in the red zone. It does not excuse that being the default go-to option. I'm just saying there's a time and a place, and I can at least understand the thought process behind it. The problem is that it feels like when it doesn't work, it short circuits things. Now you're behind the sticks, and you don't feel like you have a great chance to run it for 6 on 2nd and goal from the 10 to give you a third manageable.
I think that there's a lot to this. Here's what Dana said on Tuesday about spreading the ball around. Here's Dana Holgorsen.
Well, you got to establish your run. That's the easiest thing, and, we weren't awful in the run game, right? Now, when I talk about balance, it's about getting the ball around to different people. I mean, we've done that at a high level this year, and we need to continue to do that at a high level. You go back to, I charted the Cincinnati game, and I just kind of revisited it. We snapped it. We put the ball in play 64 times out of 78. Okay, so that 68 snaps, the ball is getting distributed to people. When you snap the ball 55 times and 15 of the 55 don't get put in play, there's just not enough so somebody's going to be upset, and we got to get Ja'Cory the ball more. We got to get Dane the ball more. We targeted Dane 3 times downfield and they were unsuccessful.
I see. That's where I get where he's coming from in the terms of like, hey, this is the total number of plays. Because of sacks, that number has dwindled quite a bit. Somebody's going to get pissed off because they didn't get the ball. That's not what I'm fine with that. Like I am aware that not everybody's going to be happy, and that's fine. That's just something you have to deal with and you have to work through as a coordinator. And I'm also not, when I bring up the cases of like, they need to get Jacory the ball more, or they need to get Dane Key the ball more, it's not because I'm operating out of this fear of like, oh man, if they don't, then Jacory's going to be unhappy and they're going to transfer. Like that's not how I'm operating. I'm saying that because there's some of your most dynamic players, especially Jacory.
Mm-hmm.
Like you are making a statement that in punt return, by having him out there in space, he is one of your most dynamic players. From a program standpoint, having a guy out there at punt return, he's one of your most dynamic players, and he's one of your most trusted.
Mm-hmm.
Because in the biggest moments when you cannot afford a turnover and your defense needs to get off the field and you just need to catch a punt successfully, Jacory has that. It's that idea and view of Jacory not matching up on the offense. That's where it's more of, you have to find ways creatively to get him involved. Everybody loves the jet sweeps. Everybody loves the underneath drag routes. And like there's pieces to that, sure. But Jacory to have 4 catches in the last 5 games, 10 catches in the last 5 games is not, and 2 of those 5 are 0.
Mm-hmm.
He's had 4, 3, and 3
mm-hmm.
in the last 5 games. The other 2 games, 0 catches. It's that inconsistency, the inconsistency of having an ability to get him the ball that's alarming to me. Because by now, you shouldn't be trying to see what works. You shouldn't be trying to develop an idea of, okay, maybe this sequence works together. You should know your personnel real well by game 8, in my opinion.
And if you don't, that's a problem. At some point, you should maybe declare your identity instead of say, oh, we're still trying to find who we are. That's what I think Matt Rule was getting at. What can we do?
Mm-hmm.
But I think there's a couple ways to branch off that conversation, because I think Isaiah Hunter is a bigger game breaker than Jacory Barney Jr.
I think that he's developed into it too. I absolutely agree.
And that's why you see the screen passes get housed. Even the one that he dropped. I mean, at least he beat the guy. Now consistency needs to be there. You got to hold on to the ball.
And once you do it, I mean, and we've seen him do it multiple times, right? Like the breakaway speed, the ability to catch a pass, ability to make guys miss. Consistently, it's been there, which is the breakaway speed part is something Nebraska's been lacking for the last decade.
Hasn't had. I say that to say this. When your offense is in a slump, whether it's football, whether it's baseball, whether it's basketball, sometimes you just need a dude to put the team on his back. Who's Nebraska's dude that they force feed, right? Balance is great when everything's clicking. But if not everything's clicking, you go to your best player and you say, hey, ball's in your hands. It's coming your way. We need you to carry us through this downtime.
Which is that in Isaiah now?
My pick would be a combination of Isaiah Hunter and Emmett Johnson.
Okay.
Trust those dudes to do something.
Sure.
I'm still slightly skeptical on Emmett, but he's opened my eyes a little bit.
Yeah.
I think he's earned a little bit more respect. I think that he deserves more chances to be that game breaker. Like Dane Key, he should be the safety blanket. Dylan, you're in trouble. You only have Dane Key on that side of the field. The safety's not over there. Just throw it his way. Or even if that's an Isaiah, whoever it is. Balance is great in theory. It's a great concept when everything is clicking, when it's a well-oiled machine, and the balance comes in the form of they don't know where we're going with the ball. But sometimes you got to be good enough as a play caller. You got to be good enough as a quarterback. You got to be good enough as a running back or a wide receiver to say, hey, we're in a rut right now. Give me the ball. I'm going to make something happen. Not in a demanding, I need my touches or else sort of way, but as an offensive coordinator and Dana Holgorsen and no one's got that fire, you got to have your first option or your second option of we're not working. So X player, you've got to work. I can't wait for someone to have the fire in their eyes, to have that look, that gleam, like Dana Holgorsen said. It's just like, here's a Nebraska basketball comparison, right? Last year at times, even 2 years ago at times, the whole no point guard thing, right? Think about Dylan as the point guard. Distribute.
Yeah.
Who's the go-to guy in crunch time? 2 years ago, maybe it was Casey. Maybe it was Rink. Maybe it was Bryce Williams for a matchup here and there. He did, right? Who's the bailout guy for Nebraska? But also, Nebraska's offense looked better because it had that bailout guy.
Yeah.
When Nebraska's offense was really humming and clicking, they didn't need a point guard to step up because you knew where you were going to go with the ball. Everyone could contribute and you could keep teams off balance. Right now, Nebraska is not good enough or not doing enough to get teams off balance. so the balance doesn't come into play. You need that dude to step up and say, get on my back. I am carrying us down the field. We're scoring a touchdown. Yeah. You come along for the ride. It'll be your turn next. But until you're ready to play football to Big Ten level, you're on my back. You're on our back. We are carrying you guys.
I think it's important also for us to acknowledge, like, this is a large operation too. Like, this is not a, I don't want to say, I don't want to use the word easy or hard. Like, I just think that there's a lot of pieces to this operation, from little details like the snap to bigger details like offensive linemen and their ability to block, running backs picking up an extra block or rusher, wide receivers winning one-on-one battles, matchups, the ability of the quarterback to identify and read not only pre-snap but during the play, and then the ability to deliver the mail, the process of catching it, the catch and run. Like, there's a large operation here. But nowadays in college football, we can argue and we can use the caveat of, look at the investment. There's investment. There is clear financial investment. Number one, it starts with the quarterback. Nebraska is as competitive as it comes in college football in terms of competitiveness financially for the quarterback position. And at the end of the day, if it's not producing results consistently, then you have a right as a donor, as a coach, as a member of this football program to kind of not criticize, but at least have a conversation about it. And it doesn't have to be in a disrespectful, call you out, you're the only thing that's the problem here. But that's part of the responsibility that comes with being a quarterback at the University of Nebraska. And it's so much more than just Dylan. It's the same. It's the responsibility of being the left tackle at Nebraska. It's the responsibility of being a transfer wide receiver who's now wide receiver 1 in Isaiah Hunter at Nebraska. You are asked to do things that maybe go above and beyond of what you expected of yourself. But that's when you start to become a great player and a great offense, is when you realize, hey, I can do way more than I ever thought I could or ever thought I was going to do this season.
A friend of the station, Des Moines Adams, would say, you call a guy up, not out. You're better than this. You can be better. I've seen it in you. Let's get there consistently.
Yeah.
Want to get to this from
and it's not in a disrespectful way. No. That's why it was frustrating about the Luke Lindenmeyer stuff this last week, of where he said, I wish I would have said something when I noticed things last week. Guys are, and maybe this is part of the world that we live in, of like, it's not disrespectful. I loved that saying that you quoted Des Moines, of you're calling guys up, not out. You're calling them to be better for everybody, for their individual self, for the team, for the coaching staff, for the program. It's not a disrespectful call out. It's leadership. And that's where I think there's a difference here.
Back to the Jacory thing real quick, because C. Munden brought it up on our Starter Human Jewelers text line.
Oh, yep.
You guys make it sound like it's just an easy thing. Yeah, let's get him the ball more often, but it's probably him not getting out of routes quick enough, him getting jammed, him not running right routes. I haven't seen him wide open like you guys make it sound. Here's the thing. Matt Rule, Dana Holgerson, even John Butler have all admitted it's not one thing, it's everything.
It is.
The problem is this. On the plays that Jacory is open and not getting the ball, either Dylan moved off of him too quickly or someone else was open first. Or the offensive line broke down. Maybe on plays where the protection is really good, Jacory's not getting open, or Dane's not getting open. Whoever is not getting open, and that's on them. Or sometimes the protection holds up and the receiver is open for a second or is about to come open, and Dylan just makes a mistake. To Nick's point, it's a big operation. There's a lot that goes on. So no, it's not just as simple as, we'll get him the ball more because we want to get him the ball more. Everyone has to do their part, and that's what's been so frustrating about this Nebraska offense for the better part of as long as we've been observing them, especially over the last 10 years, is that it takes, 3 facets essentially for things to go right. Line, quarterback, skill position. More often than not, it's 2 or 2.5. And it's not the same 1 or half every play that throws something off.
Yeah. I think there's a lot more to it as well. And this is where, at the end of the day, like, these guys are all in terms of coaches, in terms of players, like, they're all in positions to where they're the ones that control it, right? Like, I am in no way saying I could do a better job than Dylan. Like, this goes back to all the way back in January, February, and March, and in December, of when you're identifying potential players to bring in. Because what is your ideal vision, and are you bringing in the personnel needed to execute that vision? And if there's a disconnect there, then it might not show up in the spring game. It might not show up against Houston Christian or Akron, but it does show up in the fall, in late October, early November, when you're playing very meaningful football games. So with that being said, we're going to take a break. We'll step aside. When we come back, Who likes concert tickets? Austin, you like concert tickets?
I do.
Let's give away a couple of concert tickets. We'll do that when we come back here on The Drive.
Fino Cleaning Services and Noreen Home Care Services would like to remind all of our lady listeners that breast cancer is a serious issue. 1 out of 8 women fall victim to this silent predator, but if detected early, steps can be taken towards treatment and prevention. Fino Cleaning Services and Noreen Home Care Services providing professional, commercial, and residential janitorial services as well as home care services, assistance with daily activities, and more. Call 402-805-2190. That's 805-2190. Fino Cleaning Services or Noreen Home Care Services. On the air because they care.
Schweizo Construction is now hiring for skilled craftsmen, steel erectors, concrete workers, and general laborers. Schweizo Construction offers great benefits like premium wages, health and dental insurance, paid holidays and vacation, 401k with company match, life insurance, and disability insurance. They pride themselves on a legacy of 40 years built on integrity and trust. Joining their team means becoming part of a family that values hard work, dedication, and mutual respect. Apply today at schweizo.com. That's SCHWISOW.com.
From the capital to castles, starting this December, fly nonstop from Lincoln to Orlando with service from Breeze Airways. That's right, nonstop flights to Orlando out of LNK are starting this December. You're now just a flight away from Disney World, Universal Studios, Legoland, and the Space Coast. Stretch out and relax on Breeze with complimentary family seating. Book your magical getaway now at LincolnAirport.com. LNK, make flying easy.
Ready to score big with your projects? Look no further than Edward Stone, the MVP of natural stone for over 2 decades. Edward Stone is cranking out over 30,000 square feet every week and offers a winning lineup of over 70 quality natural veneer stone selections. Their unbeatable variety and experienced team will ensure your project is a success, whether it's a home renovation or a commercial build. And hey, they're not just about stone. They've got an all-star lineup of fireplaces, cast stone, brick, and much more. Swing by one of their locations in Lincoln or Omaha today and experience the Edward Stone difference, your reliable choice for over 20 years.
Rick Heyman here from Sauter Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. You can count on Sauter Heyman for the very best quality, value, and customer service. When it comes to your jewelry needs, visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at SauterHeyman.com, and thank you for your continued trust after all these years.
Salt Mine City is your go-to brewery in the Haymarket for craft beers and great food. Enjoy a full menu of great items daily for lunch and dinner, like their Big Fatty 7-ounce hamburger or a Reuben sandwich served on Blackstone rye bread. And don't forget their beef or chicken nachos with guacamole, sour cream, jalapenos, and more. Wash it down with one of their 12 beers on tap, including the popular Single Axle Light American Lager. Salt Mine City, now open 2 p.m. Monday through Thursday and 11 a.m. Friday through Sunday at 8th and R.
Attention all Wings fans, Buffalo Wings and Rings has daily specials that will make you want to stop in on all days of the week. Kids eat free on Mondays, and on Tuesdays enjoy 40% off boneless or traditional wings at a price that makes the whole family happy. And come back on Wednesdays for $1.39 chicken tenders all day long. Get to Wings and Rings today, 68th and O or in Williamsburg Village.
Hi, Sean Callahan here, and I've got some great news for you. Copple Chevrolet GMC is proud to be the #1 fastest growing GMC dealer in the Omaha and Lincoln metros. Copple is also celebrating its 50th anniversary. We want to say thank you to all of our customers that have helped us reach these milestones. So come see why so many customers, including myself, are choosing Copple Chevrolet GMC for their automotive needs. Please check us out at copplecars.com.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL or visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
There's a lot on the line in divorce.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on. Visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell & Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. 1221 N Street, Lincoln.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
MHC isn't a new company, just a new name. Moe's Moving is now Moe's Home and Commercial. Whether moving across town or across the state, MHC Moving has you covered, specializing in home, apartment, assisted, and independent living moves. MHC can handle your commercial moves as well. MHC Moving has 0 hidden fees. You'll never pay for same-day booking or be charged for stairs, heavy items, or elevator fees. Rates are the same Monday through Saturday, and you will never pay a truck or fuel surcharge. And they offer payment plans through PayPal. Call MHC Moving today at 402-853-7167 or go to mhcmoving.com.
Now back to The Drive with Aaron Davis and Nick Sainert, sponsored by Doors Plus on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back into the program, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. It is The Drive. Nick Sainert alongside Austin Norman. Thanks to Austin for sitting in these last 2 days. AD, Aaron Davis, is back mañana, back tomorrow on a Friday. We'll be joined, I got confirmation, by Connor Onion, who will be doing play-by-play for Fox Sports Nebraska Northwestern on Saturday. He'll be joining
I'm bringing the card.
There you go.
Bringing the card.
He'll be joining us in studio tomorrow at 10:15 a.m. And so Connor Onion, the guy that if you're watching the game on TV on Saturday, you'll hear from, he will be in studio joining AD and myself tomorrow at 10:15 Central Time. However, I teased concert tickets before the break, and I will follow up on that. A Day to Remember and Yellow Card are bringing back nostalgia with their early 2000s sound on Halloween night, October 31st at Pinnacle Bank Arena. Tickets are available via Ticketmaster, or you can win a pair of tickets right now to the concert, courtesy of The Drive and of 93.7 The Ticket. For today's tickets, the first person to text in the correct answer to this question wins 2 tickets for the concert on October 31st. So if you want to go to A Day to Remember and Yellow Card on October 31st at Pinnacle Bank Arena, get those texting fingers out now. Here is the question. What state was A Day to Remember founded as a band in 2003 by guitarist Tom Denny and drummer Bobby Scruggs? If you know that answer, text it in 402-464-5685. Riley W. on the text line won yesterday, so he is out of contention. However, if you want to go to the concert on October 31st, what state was A Day to Remember founded as a band in 2003 by guitarist Tom Denny and drummer Bobby Scruggs? If you want to go to the concert, text in the text line 402-464. We got a lot of thoughts, a lot of input. The first one I see, Austin, is Trey Erbst. Erbst is the winner. Trey, congratulations. You're going to A Day to Remember and Yellow Card. Go ahead and send us on the text line your email so that way we can transfer and get those tickets to you in the near future. But yes, the correct answer is Florida. Florida. Denny and Scruggs no longer in the band, though. The lead singer, Jeremy McKinnon, and guitarist Neil Westfall remain from the original group. And so there you go. There's your A Day to Remember and Yellow Card trivia. Make sure you stay tuned tomorrow. We'll be giving away 2 more tickets to the concert. So we had a lot of people that texted in. And if you still want to go, then make sure you're listening 10:30 tomorrow on a Friday.
How different would bands be if there was band free agency?
Is there not
band trades?
Is there not? Is there not?
Well, I mean, there's like
free agency.
There's like egos that lead people to leave bands. There are, differences where you step away for family stuff, or you go off tour, or, life event happens, and then you come back to the music scene. But then you get replaced. You can't just jump right back in because, someone new in your place, unless maybe there's an agreement. But I think it'd be incredible if we could start covering bands like we cover sports teams, where their tour managers are more like general managers. You're not clicking, gotta go to the bench, bring in the backup drummer.
Which can I ask the question of the Memorial Stadium concert, since we have like 5 minutes here?
Please.
How do we feel about it? Did you I know you saw it, but so it is the boys from Oklahoma. I'm trying to find the specific graphic here. So Cross Canadian Ragweed, Turnpike Troubadours, Cody Jinks, Flatland Cavalry, and more will be playing at Memorial Stadium on Saturday, August 22nd. Any interest in going?
Good on them for being here.
Okay.
Some Oklahoma State ties, so don't be surprised if this money ends up back in Stillwater at some point. Good on Nebraska for opening up the doors for Memorial Stadium. I think that's pretty cool. It's not for me. I'm not going.
Yeah, I said yesterday, Nebraska Athletic announces Memorial Stadium will host the Boys from Oklahoma concert in 2026. Ragweed and Turnpike Troubadours will co-headline the show at Memorial Stadium in Lincoln on August 22nd, 2026, with special guests Cody Jinks, Flatland Cavalry, and more. You can sign up to receive a pre-sale access code.
Do you know how Cross Canadian Ragweed got its name?
I do not.
Okay.
I had never... This is bad. I had never heard of Cross Canadian Ragweed, but I have heard of Turnpike Troubadour.
You and me both.
Okay.
The only one I've heard of is Turnpike Troubadour.
Yes.
And couldn't tell you a single song of theirs. I've at least heard the name. But Cross Canadian Ragweed, formed in Yukon, Oklahoma in 94. It's a mashup of the kind of amalgamation of the four last names of the original band members. You had Cross, Grady Cross, Canadian from Cody, Canada.
Yep.
Rag from Randy Ragsdale, and Weed from Matt Wiedemann.
Well, there you go. There's how you get a name. Are they all part of the band?
No, Weed is gone, replaced by Jeremy Plato.
Cross Canadian Rag Plato. There you go. Definitely does not roll off the tongue the same way.
He looks like a no tats jelly roll.
Congratulations to Trey. They should have gotten jelly roll.
What would you take a bet that he's here in the next 5 years doing a concert?
1,000%.
At Memorial Stadium or just in Lincoln?
I would put. I think that Jelly Roll in Memorial Stadium.
Memorial Stadium by 2030.
Well, I don't know what it's going to be like with the new grass.
True.
That's the kicker there. That's why it feels like this was underwhelming, simply because we don't know how many more we're going to get.
Just got to get someone in.
I guess so. I like the idea of opening the doors. I'm fine with it. Underwhelming people. So.
Agreed.
All right. I'll still probably find my way into the stadium though. I like concerts. I think I'm attending Maroon 5 next weekend.
Hello.
Week. Yeah, we'll see.
Interesting. How many Maroon 5 songs can you name? Maybe that's our final segment.
I could name a couple. I thought there was a moment where Adam Levine kind of branched off on his own, but he must be back. They're at PBA on Tuesday, I think. So we'll see. Either way, when we come back, we're going to get back into sports here. Talk a little bit more about the NBA stuff going on and Chauncey Billups. Oof. Congrats to Trey, though, winning tickets to a day to remember and Yellow Card on October 31st. So Trey, be on the lookout for a text from us. We'll step aside. The drive wraps up next.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL or visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on. Visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell and Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. 1221 N Street, Lincoln.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio-video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between. We'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
Salt Mine City is your go-to brewery in the Haymarket for craft beers and great food. Enjoy a full menu of great items daily for lunch and dinner, like their Big Fatty 7-ounce hamburger or a Reuben sandwich served on Blackstone rye bread. And don't forget their beef or chicken nachos with guacamole, sour cream, jalapenos, and more. Wash it down with one of their 12 beers on tap, including the popular Single Axle Light American Lager. Salt Mine City, now open 2 p.m. Monday through Thursday and 11 a.m. Friday through Sunday at 8th and R.
Hey there, this is Paul Scheel, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
From the capital to castles, starting this December, fly nonstop from Lincoln to Orlando with service from Breeze Airways. That's right, nonstop flights to Orlando out of LNK are starting this December. You're now just a flight away from Disney World, Universal Studios, Legoland, and the Space Coast. Stretch out and relax on Breeze with complimentary family seating. Book your magical getaway now at LincolnAirport.com. LNK, make flying easy.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
MHC isn't a new company, just a new name. Moe's Moving is now Moe's Home and Commercial. Whether moving across town or across the state, MHC Moving has you covered, specializing in home, apartment, assisted, and independent living moves. MHC can handle your commercial moves as well. MHC Moving has 0 hidden fees. You'll never pay for same-day booking or be charged for stairs, heavy items, or elevator fees. Rates are the same Monday through Saturday, and you will never pay a truck or fuel surcharge. And they offer payment plans through PayPal. Call MHC Moving today at 402-853-7167 or go to mhcmoving.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, areas of frost this morning. Otherwise, we'll see mainly sunny skies and light winds today with a high near 65. Tonight, increasing clouds and calm winds. Near 45. Tomorrow, a chance of showers, otherwise cloudy skies, the high near 57. I'm meteorologist Kyle Fleck for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Carmela's Bistro and Wine Bar in Lincoln reminds listeners to keep our local farmers in your heart during the fall harvest season. Our local farmers work hard to provide for our daily meals all year round. Carmela's Bistro and Wine Bar, located at 4141 Pioneer Woods Drive in Lincoln, offers fresh and delicious pasta, seafood, hand-cut steaks, and a wide variety of wines. For reservations, call 402-489-0005. The staff at Carmela's Bistro and Wine Bar in Lincoln are forever grateful to the dedication of our local farmers.
Now back to The Drive with Aaron Davis and Nick Sainer, sponsored by Doors Plus on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back in. It is The Drive one final time on a Thursday here. Thanks to Austin once again for sitting in for AD. Aaron Davis back tomorrow, though. Austin, let's have this quick conversation real quick. Some of the college football games that are happening this weekend. One is the Oregon-Wisconsin game that we were talking about off air a few minutes ago. 34.5-point favorites are the Ducks against Wisconsin. Chris McIntosh, the Wisconsin athletic director, obviously sends out the, show of support for Luke Fickell. How long does that last?
Depends on how serious he is and how serious Wisconsin donors are. The vote of confidence is never something that you like getting in mid-season. I do wonder if this is like last year for Billy Napier.
Okay.
But do you see Wisconsin having any signs of rebound success like Florida did? I don't necessarily. So maybe Chris McIntosh believes it, and he's going to redouble his efforts to raise money for Luke Fickell because he believes he's the guy. I wouldn't be shocked if Wisconsin begins next season with Luke Fickell as head coach. I would be pretty shocked if Luke Fickell ends next season as Wisconsin's head coach.
Right now, recruiting-wise, and they're going to have to utilize the portal dramatically.
Yeah.
But 57th in the country. They have 15 commits, which isn't a bad number. But 57th in the country. Only one recruit from Wisconsin.
Woo.
Wisconsin, and that recruit is their lowest rated recruit. He's the 7th best player out of the state.
Where'd the other guys go?
Oh, fun. I love these exercises. Okay. The first player is a 4-star offensive lineman.
Can I guess?
Yes.
Let me guess. In the previous 6, I'm going to guess there are 2 Iowa, 1 Michigan, 1 MAC, and one WAC, or like Mountain West.
So you're right on the I don't know if they're MAC.
Who is it?
Kent State.
Yep, MAC. Yep.
1 Iowa.
1 Iowa. Okay.
No Michigan.
Okay.
There are 2 going to another Big Ten school, though.
Minnesota?
No. 1 going to Minnesota. That's where the top player is going.
Illinois?
No.
Northwestern?
No.
Purdue?
No.
Indiana?
Yes.
How about that?
So it goes in this order. Minnesota, uncommitted. Indiana, Iowa, Indiana, Kent State, Wisconsin, Central Michigan, Western Michigan. It's not great.
Not really a football hotbed necessarily, more basketball, but still.
Bryce Benhart.
Right. He was Minnesota.
That's right. Nebraska beat Wisconsin for him.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Jeez. Well, what does Bryce Benhart's career look like at Wisconsin? Because, I mean, he holds Nebraska's starts record, which is not nothing.
It's not nothing.
He developed into a Big Ten football player by year 6. Mm-hmm. He got there.
It took a while.
But he got there.
There were some injuries.
Yes.
Setbacks,
indeed.
I would say.
Is he an NFL player at Wisconsin? I don't think so.
No.
He gave himself a better shot, I think, by starting that many games at Nebraska and being durable.
He is a 2-year starter at Wisconsin.
Yeah. Year and a half.
Maybe a cup of coffee.
Swing starter.
Yeah,
as
maybe
a junior.
Maybe
starter as a senior.
Cup of coffee in the league.
Maybe. Yeah.
Undrafted free agent guy.
Yeah.
Okay, we're on the same page there. How about
I think
that?
that'll.
All right, cool. Well, we got about a minute left in the show. Remember, tomorrow morning, 10:15, we'll have Fox play-by-play broadcaster Connor Onion joining us in the studio, unless the production meeting for Fox gets changed. But that is the plan going forward. Thanks to Austin for sitting in these last 2 days. We have Matt Rule speaking to the media here in a little over 30 minutes or so. And there's a lot to get to tomorrow. We'll dive, AD and myself, we'll dive deep into Nebraska Northwestern. A lot more to come on the NBA stuff going on with Chauncey Billups and everything there. I just read a report that they would lure high-profile players to play and have an opportunity to play with Chauncey Billups. That is how they phrased it. It's a fascinating story that's developing and unfolding here on October 23rd. We'll step aside. We'll when we come back, it's one-on-one with DP. He takes you through the 11 o'clock hour right here, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. AD and I will talk to you tomorrow.
From the capital to castles, starting this December, fly nonstop from Lincoln to Orlando with service from Breeze Airways. That's right, nonstop flights to Orlando out of LNK are starting.